Greetings everyone, this is a quick demonstration video about how to use Baker's Calculator version 2.0. Okay, so we're gonna add our very first recipe by clicking the plus icon here. And it's gonna show us three different methods to add a recipe: by ingredients, by total percentage, and by flour percentage. Okay, so first of all, we're gonna click on the first option, using existing recipe. And this is the option for you if you already have a recipe with the ingredients and their weights. For example, here I have this sourdough bread recipe. So all I need to do is add these ingredients and their weights into the recipe. So all I need to do is, first of all, I'm going to give my recipe a name and then add all the ingredients and weights I have. Okay, so now I have added all the ingredients and their weights correctly. Now we simply need to click Generate Calculator button. And it's going to give you a button on your home screen with your recipe name. And now you just need to enter the quantity required in this field and press the button. And now it's going to give you the recipe for the weight you want. Okay, so now we're going to jump to the second option, add recipe using percentage. So if you have the percentage of each ingredient of the total recipe, this is the option for you. For example, I have a recipe for a multigrain sourdough. So I'm just going to give this recipe name multigrain sourdough. And then I'm going to enter each ingredient and its percentage in the recipe. So everything looks good here. So I'm going to click Generate Calculator button here. And now you can see it's giving us another button with our recipe name multigrain sourdough on our home screen. And now you can toggle between these two recipes, like this is for 2 kilo sourdough recipe and this is for 2 kilo of multigrain recipe. Okay, finally, we're going to jump to our third method of adding recipe using flour percentage. This is the method mostly used by bread bakers where you are supposed to add a recipe by using the percentage in relation to the flour weight, not the total recipe weight. For example, to make a standard white bread, we're going to give it a name, which is white bread. And then we're going to add the flours we're using, all-purpose flour in our case. And because we're using only one flour here, so we're going to set the percentage of this flour to the 100%. And then we're going to add the ingredients in relation to this 100% flour weight. Like salt is 2% of the flour weight, and oil is 2% of the flour weight, and water is roughly 60% of the flour weight. But sometimes you have multiple flours in a recipe. For example, if you have to add like 30% rye flour in this recipe, you have to make white flour or AP flour 70% first and then rye 30%. And now all those ingredients will be added in relation to these two flour weights. Okay, so again, we click Generate Calculator and it gives us a recipe for white bread here. Super easy. Now let's move on to the new cool feature added in this update. If you go to the recipe manager, now you have the option to edit an existing recipe. Let's say you want to edit the sourdough recipe. So you have a button to toggle between gram and kilogram here. Depending on what method you prefer, I'm going to use the gram mode and I want to add the 10 gram of oil in this recipe. Then simply I'm going to click on the update button. Now our sourdough recipe has successfully updated. Now you can see if I enter 3 kilo sourdough recipe here, it's giving me 30 gram oil in that. So this is all you need to know. If you have any questions, any issues or any feedbacks, comments regarding this app, please like our page on Facebook and follow our page on Facebook, and you can send a message in the messenger. And thanks for watching.